All right, on to always do your best. So many of us are our own worst critic. Beating ourselves up becomes like a pastime, like a hobby, and we spend 90% of our thoughts, whether they are conscious or not, speaking negatively or thinking negatively or feeling negatively about ourselves, and it becomes very automatic and very judgmental and very harsh. This is something that many of us do that can be changed. This is another one of those neural pathway things. Once your brain gets used to thinking poorly of yourself, as many of us do so often, it becomes very, very grooved in that neural pathway, and it becomes very easy to think negatively of yourself. However, this is where always do your best comes in. So I talked about this a little bit earlier when I was talking about being a nurse practitioner. So I decided at one point a couple of years ago that I will always do my best, whatever that best is. But that best takes into account my current energy, my current status of sleep, my current nutrition, how much I've been able to exercise, how I'm feeling, how many people, how many patients I've seen today, how many friends I have in crisis right now, all of the things in my life that 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 can use up or require my energy or uh, part of what I use to solve problems. I take all of those into account and always do my best based on that. Now, I'm going to be frank. Sometimes my best sucks. Sometimes my best is embarrassing. Sometimes my best is just plain poor and I do not do a good job. However, when I know that I have done my best, I use that to help myself not be judgmental. As many of us are, I tend to be my own worst critic and I tend to be hypercritical of anything that I do. However, once I started taking that mantra, always do your best, always do your best, always do your best, and started putting it into place and really living it, I find that it's much easier to treat myself like a friend who has just had a hard day, or a pet, or somebody that I would never speak harshly to, and certainly nowhere near as harshly as I would speak to myself. So that's something that I recommend that you do on a daily basis is just do your best, and then when you do, don't judge yourself for it. With that in mind, I'd also like to talk a little bit about the 80-20 principle. So your best, again, is your best in that moment, at that time, with the resources that you have in front of you. If you are trying to do something and get something done, then it's best to take the angle on it that you're going to do good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Very rarely do we demand perfection from other people. Very rarely do we demand perfection from our pets. Um, and yet we demand this from ourselves. And so many of us have these perfectionistic tendencies where we use it to be really hard on ourselves. And anything that we find in what we do to be imperfect, we will beat ourselves up for and be really upset about. So with respect to taking care of yourself and not judging yourself, recognize that when you are doing your best, it is your best, even if it's not that good. Sure, you may need to come back and give it another shot tomorrow. Sure, you may wish that you could do better, and you may, in fact, take another chance at it and on another occasion, if that's possible in that particular situation. But don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good to where you are demanding that from yourself at all times.